What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Movie Mob Podcast. We took a little brief 1 week hiatus, but we're back and we have a big stacked episode today. So just to let everybody know, chapter markers will be listed in the description below this video. Joining me today in studio is my wonderful producer, Josh. Josh, thanks for being here.
Hello.
And live from Gotham City, which is, I really got to tell you, I appreciate you coming on because it's such a fucking haul to get you on here from Gotham. RJ Curerri. RJ
The
Curerri.
Wi-Fi is not good here.
Oh,
After the flood, everything got fucked up.
yeah, what are you going to do? Call the Penguin, ask him to fix it. You know what I mean?
Yep. Thank you.
Well, either that or you know what else would fix the Wi-Fi, RJ? Just a little bit of magic, I feel. Our first topic today, HBO.
Very nice.
Thank you. Thank you. HBO has announced that the cast for Harry Potter, the series that they're coming out with, has increased threefold. And that would be the roles of Harry, Ron, and Hermione. Harry will be played by Dominic McLaughlin. Ron is Alastair Stout, and Hermione is Arabella Insurance. I'm just kidding. It's Arabella Stanton.
That's good.
More than 30,000 actors applied to audition for those roles. Filming begins summer of 2025. These kids look great, RJ. What do you think about them?
I'm with you. I think they hit it out of the park with this one, especially Ron.
Totally agree.
That kid looks like Ron Weasley right there.
He does.
Listen, you know what? We've talked about this a few times. This series in general, it's starting to grow on me. I think when they initially announced it, I was like, I'm not watching this, right? But like the idiot I am, I'll probably watch it.
Yeah.
But no, because honestly, I think most of the casting has been pretty damn good.
Yeah.
And I think that's a tough thing to do. Obviously, the jury's out until we see him on screen, but that's a tough thing to do going off those movies that we both grew up with. But I think these kids look good. I think that like the Harry actor, he looks like the picture of the art on the old books. They really went into that. Yeah, which I think is cool.
Yeah, I think that's cool too. I love Hermione. I love it. This is a great opportunity to have a little ethnic change there. I thought that was
I was going to say, is she? I wasn't sure.
Dude, look at Emma Watson and look at this new Hermione, Arabella.
No, is she mixed?
She's got to be something. No?
Yeah.
But regardless, I thought it was a beautiful change, and I thought it was a change that was warranted. Now, you and I, a few weeks back when they announced the first few cast members, we bitched a little bit about the new Snape. And quite honestly, my issues were not the fact that the guy was black. It was the fact that he didn't look like the way that Snape was described. If you look at Ron Weasley, in the book, the whole Weasley family is a bunch of redheads. If they cast a little Asian kid to play Ron Weasley, it wouldn't make sense. That's all I'm saying. But Hermione and even J.K. Rowling, regardless of your politics regarding J.K. Rowling, even she said, like, yeah, Hermione could be black. I never said anything about Hermione. She's a little girl, you know?
Yeah, like her descriptions are not as like descript as like someone like Snape, who was described in the book as this like pasty pale guy
with a hook nose, which I think, and he looks like a witch.
Race stuff aside, that's why I think people are upset about that casting. And honestly, again, purely on that basis, that's probably the only one I feel like they've missed on.
Yeah, I'm pumped for John Lithgow, by the way. John Lithgow as Dumbledore, I think will be so good.
Great, yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
And Nick, what's his fuck there, the one that's playing Hagrid. I'm cool with that one too, to be 100% honest with you.
Yeah. Yeah, no, the Hagrid one, I think McGonagall, that was good too. Yeah, I think it's good. And listen, I'm sure that I think his name is Papa Aceto, who's playing Snape. I'm sure he's a great actor. It's just I'm interested to see how it translates on screen. But
I don't.
But yeah, to your point, we even said it on the last time talking that Hermione could really be anyone.
Yeah. And like, if you're gonna do a reprise, honestly, I think Harry, this is a crazy thing for me to say, but you know me, I'm very opinionated. I think Harry's just a tad chubbier than I would have initially anticipated.
Yeah, it could be a bad angle.
Yeah, he's a little heavy. And that the squatting photo in the grass with the knees, it's a lot,
Yeah.
I don't know who was directing that photo shoot,
Maybe he's more Neville. I don't know.
Yeah, early Neville,
Yeah,
little
yeah,
he looks like a long bottom, you know, what are you gonna do? Looks like a
yeah.
wide bottom, to
Yeah.
be honest with you, look at him wide.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, you're
Uh,
welcome.
no, but yeah, I mean, listen, we love HBO. We've never been shy about that. I'm sure that they're going to put some effort into this thing and hopefully pay respect to the books and the movies that
Oh, I'm
everyone
sure.
loves. So,
Of course, of course.
I can say I'm looking forward to it. I'll say it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not afraid to say that anymore either. I'm looking forward to it even if it's bad, okay? I think that it's great. I love the fact that there were 30,000 kids that applied to be Harry Potter. I love that
That's so old school.
it's so old school and
Yeah,
it went to I mean these I hope they're ready. Their lives just changed forever,
yeah, man.
you know?
Seriously,
And that's a
I
big
think they're 11.
oh my god, can you imagine? Think about it when you
Yeah.
were 11 years old what you were doing. Imagine if your life changed forever, everybody knew who you were. That's insane.
Battlefront 2 and popcorn.
I
That's what I
bet.
was doing.
I bet.
Uh,
That's
yeah.
crazy. Well, good luck to him. I hope everything looks good. Obviously, this is the thing too. I feel like a lot of us who review this type of stuff or people in this industry, whatever, I feel like a lot of people tend to. It's so easy to be negative right off the cuff, like right away,
Mhm.
right from the jump. Be like, oh, fuck them. I can't believe they're making a Harry Potter again and all this other shit. Look at these kids. They just got their whole lives just changed by getting this career.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
good for them. I don't want it to be bad. I want it to be, the best thing since Harry Potter for Harry Potter for the,
Mhm.
Thankfully, I would say HBO is smart enough to do something like this to dig a little bit deeper into the series and have a more played out kind of series as opposed to writing a fictional eighth book or some shit, you know?
Right.
Like that would be dumb. Look what they did with Game of Thrones. It's fucking horrible, you know?
Mhm.
I feel like
Yeah,
this
not to
is
go on too much of a tangent. I was
no
just
go.
gonna say to your point about the casting, the 30,000 kids,
Hmm.
like, that is what they used to do, and I think that's such a great thing because, like you said, it gives someone who you don't know about an opportunity for such a big life-changing role like this. But nowadays, I think what you're seeing more is, like, people getting casted based on their social media. You hear about that all the time, how many followers they have. So it's great that they're doing kind of that grassroots casting. I think it's good.
Any parent who has an 11-year-old with 20 million followers on Instagram, the 11-year-old, they
Yeah,
should be jailed, okay? I think that
right.
thankfully the youth helps them in this case, you know? Um,
Well, if they went the wrong direction, they could have casted Big Justice and the Rizzler as Ron and Harry.
you're
You
not
know what I'm
wrong.
saying?
You're not
They
wrong.
could have went that direction. Yeah,
Yeah, and that would have been
and
bad.
I would have watched that.
HBO's been making some good moves though. Like they
Mhm.
realized finally, and we reviewed this. I don't remember what movie mob it was back when you were still living here. Um, but when they've initially switched over to Max from HBO Max,
Yeah,
and I remember saying, branding wise, sounds like a shit move.
yeah. HBO is the brand. Yeah,
Right. So why would you eliminate the HBO off of HBO
yeah.
Max? That didn't really make any sense. They agreed. They watched the show, RJ, the execs at HBO, and they have flipped back to HBO Max now, which I think is
Yeah.
fantastic.
Honestly, I think if they were gonna do anything, because it's like they could have called it Warner Bros. Max because it really is like they have all the Warner Bros. Stuff and they own HBO. I don't know why they didn't do that,
Well, it'd
but
be the same
yeah, I
as
think
if
it's a smart move.
it'd be the same as if Wilco Media had a offshoot of something, and then that thing created a streaming service.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Which I think is fine. I think that's the other thing that we
They're
don't.
getting some heat for The Last of Us, though.
I haven't watched any of season 2 of The Last of Us.
I
Okay.
watched the first 2 episodes. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm gonna be a mom. Okay, and that's all
Mhm.
right. I
No,
think
yeah, I get from what I've heard, people are pretty upset with how they've adapted the games
yeah. Well,
this time around.
I
It's a
so
shame.
I'm praying, and I mean this. Uh, I'm praying that they don't do some shit like that with Harry Potter. Like I hope they don't ruin Harry Potter. Uh,
Yeah.
that would really
I mean,
suck.
listen, they got the books. There's no excuse.
No, no, I understand, but they had the game, and they still fucked that up. All right.
Right, right,
So
right.
I'm hoping that they don't do that. It would be I think that could be a severe blow to the HBO name. I'm not kidding. which would suck.
Oh yeah, that could take them to another level. Or I don't know. I don't think it's yeah.
Dude,
Like part of me
generationally,
is like, if it's bad, it won't change HBO at all. But if it's good, it could really take them to the next level. But I don't know.
see, I feel I feel similarly. I feel like if it's good, it can take him to the next level, and I feel like if it's bad, it could be because of The Last of Us. That's what I'm saying. There's
Mm,
so much talk online, RJ, about The Last of Us that like
mm,
if they also fuck up Harry Potter, which for millennials and for Gen Z is a fucking staple, okay? Whether
yeah,
you like
yeah.
Harry Potter or not, it's a staple, a cultural staple.
Mhm.
Could really fuck up a lot for HBO if they don't do
Yeah.
their job
I
right.
mean, I can imagine it's probably going to be the most expensive series ever. They haven't said anything, but I would think.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
I can only imagine realistically.
we'll see.
Yeah,
But Rings of Power, they're keeping that going.
yeah,
That
yeah,
money house.
that's true. I don't know. I feel like some people. Sometimes I also feel like they shouldn't do it at all, though. Part of me wants them to do something new that they haven't
Oh, I
done
mean,
before.
I'm with you, but to your point, it's like they're doing it, so either you
Well,
watch it or you don't.
right,
Yeah,
exactly. And if we don't watch it, we don't have anything to talk about. So it's
right.
it's important.
Do I want them to make they're talking about they're doing a Top Gun 3. Do I want them to do that? No. Will I watch it? Yes.
Yes.
And that's where we're at.
Well, here's where I'm
That's the
at.
problem.
Here's where I'm at. So you get it's like a three strikes rule. So Top Gun 1, great film, obviously.
Yeah.
Top Gun Maverick, I was even impressed with Top Gun Maverick. That's a great film.
Mhm,
Top Gun
mhm.
3, do we need it? No. Will I
Yeah.
watch it? Yes.
Yeah.
If it's bad, would I go to see Top Gun 4? Not a chance in hell.
Yeah.
Not a
Right.
chance in hell. So, I don't think that we need more than the third, but I feel like, and I'm sure you'll agree with this, certain IPs, it's not a bad thing to have a trilogy, you know?
No, yeah, definitely. And we've talked about Tom Cruise many times, and how he cares about the projects he's in. So they say they got a story. We'll see.
I got a question for you. This is moderately off topic, but it
Sure.
has to do with Tom Cruise, and it's fucking morbid. This is a morbid question.
Mhm.
Do you think what are the chances that Tom Cruise, God forbid, God, I really want to preface this. I don't want this to happen, but my mind is fucked, and this is how it works for me.
Yeah.
What are the chances Tom Cruise meets his demise, I'll say, performing a stunt for a film?
Be a hell of a way to go out. I bet if you asked him how does he want to die, he would
Mm,
probably say that.
mm.
Um, I don't think so.
Okay.
I
All
think
right.
he's got the protection of what's his name, L. Ron Hubbard. I think he'll be all right.
All right. I mean, maybe, but after that Mission Impossible, not the latest one, but the one that they marketed where he did the driving off of the
Yeah, he
cliff.
drove off the cliff. This new one, he's in a submerging submarine and
It
hanging off an airplane.
they're
Yeah,
hanging out. There's and you always have to go bigger because if he does the driving off a cliff thing every movie, people go, so what? He drove off a fucking cliff. That's
right.
it. So
Yeah.
it's
Well,
it's
he's been notoriously wanted to go into space. That's like what he really wants to do. He wants to shoot a movie in space.
good for him. I Go ahead, enjoy.
That could do it. Yeah, I
Sayonara.
mean, yeah.
Have fun.
No, we love TC.
We
All right.
do, we do, but I think that's where the concern comes from. If I didn't give a shit, I wouldn't care at all. You know what I mean? Um,
Yeah.
but I
I don't
feel
think
like,
he really cares.
yeah, and you know what? He's had quite the
Yeah.
career. So whatever. You're right. Going
He
out with a
has.
bang.
He has.
Have fun.
But he's still like 62, so we got more movies. We
Yeah,
got more.
dude, and he
Right.
looks great. He looks great
He does look great.
for
He
62.
does.
You know who else looked good, RJ?
Oh,
Austin Butler. Austin Butler
when
looked.
does he not?
That's
Come
right.
on.
Well, you're right. Exactly. And he's in everything. So it's not like we have much of a choice to look at anybody else.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's it called? Caught Stealing is a new Darren
Mhm.
Aronofsky film that comes out on August 29th. And it stars Austin Butler and Zoe Kravitz. And it looks as though a little bit of
Oh,
a.
you left Matt Smith off there.
Oh, yeah, Matt Smith. Okay, Matt. Yeah, he just
Yeah.
looks like a shoe to me with a mohawk. It's not my.
Naaman. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, yeah.
He's
God,
hair and all.
I'm sorry, and I mean this with all due respect. I think he's a fantastic actor, but fuck me sideways. He needs a facelift or something. Something needs some tightening. There's a lot of oh, come on, fuck you.
He's got a mohawk.
Yeah, it accentuates the wrinkles everywhere else. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot going on there.
He's got to talk with Tom Cruise's guy.
Yeah, dude. Seriously, Tom Cruise could play that guy who's trying. He's like 65 years old, trying to be 18.
Oh yeah,
old.
the guy trying to
like.
I don't know. You're talking.
Yeah, the guy who's trying to be young forever or whatever it is.
Yeah, oh yeah, that guy. The guy that started. He started a big company.
Yeah, it's a tech company or something. Yeah, I don't know. But like Tom Cruise, right now at least, if they made a movie tomorrow about that guy, I feel like Tom Cruise could play him. You know?
Oh yeah,
he looks young.
What's that guy's name? Johnson, Brian Johnson.
Yeah. Very.
Brian Johnson. Yeah. No, he could.
But anyway, back to
what were we talking about?
Caught stealing. You just watched some of the trailer. You said they were giving too much away. I don't think they were giving too much away on the trailer. I liked it a lot. I liked the movie a lot. I think it's or the trailer a lot anyway. I
did too.
I could be disappointed. You could be right that they gave too much away, and they usually do this nowadays anyway. They give you a fucking 5-minute trailer and it tells you all the main plot points.
Yeah, 2.5 minutes is a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I want 30 seconds, minute and a half max. You know what I mean? Minute and a half max. Give me the characters, the main characters. Anyway, do you have a log line for this, or do you want me to make one up?
Well, it's about Austin Butler plays like a retired baseball player, and then he is looks like he's a bartender, and he's also dating Zoe Kravitz, and then his British apartment neighbor, played by Matt Smith, needs him to watch his cat while he goes to England, I think he said, and then obviously he does that, and Matt Smith is clearly involved in some bad stuff that Austin Butler gets pulled into. So, yeah.
Right. And let me tell you, I thought it was great.
Oh, it's very simple. Yeah, old school premise.
A great, simple story. This is a movie for the ages, you know? It's
Twin Towers cameo.
Yeah, dude. What a cool I love movies like this. Yeah. It's just about a guy and his he's got a fucked up relationship, whatever. There's some stuff going on there, and he does somebody a favor, and it just totally spirals his whole life in a different direction.
Yeah.
What a great premise for a film.
Well, I sent you that Vince Vaughn reel the other day, right? Where he's talking about why they don't make like good comedies anymore. Or just he was talking about how like the IP now is like Barbie or whatever, but it used to be like, what if former baseball player gets involved with like the Russian mafia? You know, that's what like
yes, exactly.
Yeah, so it's cool.
I think that's fantastic, and I think that's where that reel specifically. It's one of the best articulated reels, I would say, out of everything that you.
Yeah, Matt Damon has a good one too about stuff like that.
Right. But it is true though, and if it's like the what if movies, like I feel like that's general conversation. If you and I were, let's say we had to go to a film festival somewhere, right? We're driving from Boston to Connecticut. That's a long drive. I feel like that would come up in conversation. It would be like, hey, what if this happened? Or like, what if it was like that?
Right.
That's the start of a good story. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'd say every fictional movie is a what if scenario, right?
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
And like, fucking, not to go backwards here, but Harry Potter. What if you're an 11-year-old and a giant pushes your door down and says you're a wizard? What the fuck would you do? You know, like how would you react to that? What would your life be like after that? That's what Harry Potter's about. What if you were a fucking wizard?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And I think that's a beautiful thing. And I've as of watching the trailer, the movie has my full endorsement. Obviously, you got to wait and watch the movie, because if they gave everything away in the trailer, I watched the whole thing. If they gave everything away in the trailer, now it's a shit movie.
Yeah.
You know?
And it's a very different story for Darren Aronofsky, because he usually does some more like pretty heavy drama stuff like The Whale and The Wrestler. This seems like it's definitely a drama, but it's a little lighter, a little more fun.
A little actiony. A little action.
Yeah, I think that's cool.
I like a little action. And by the way, too, we've been talking about this a lot for multiple reasons. More news to come. But we've been talking about a lot. Wanting to do a comedy or something with a humorous tone to it, but also have something have serious elements, but not have it be a drama, not have it be like a sad, everybody has cancer, children are dying kind of shit, and and I think that this is that to me. Like it gives me vibes like that. It gives me hope for that kind of shit.
Well, I mean, because it's real. I mean, I think every story that's realistic, like life, there are comedic moments and there are darker moments, and and on the action note, I mean, you look at like a movie like Heat, like very serious movie, but there's like funny moments, and then there's really heavy moments, and there's good action, and By the way, we will be reviewing Mission Impossible once Matt's back. We'll be saving that. So
no, Mission Impossible reviewing. Superman, there's a trailer for that you guys will be talking about. We'll all talk about that too. I think
I'm with you. Action done right is great.
You know what it is, RJ? It's action with a purpose.
Amen.
I'm serious.
Yeah.
If you just this is the complaint, at least in my opinion, against Michael Bay. Not everything explodes in a big fiery explosion.
All right.
So
I was just not to bring up Heat again, but that's probably my favorite action movie. And when you really look at it, it's like a 3-hour movie, and it's not like there's action every 10 seconds.
Sure.
They build up, they come down, and they build characters too, so you feel the stakes. So I'm with you there.
I totally
It's not
agree.
just action, which like even John Wick, like I would call that. However, there is a story there. You do care about the characters.
YouTube's gonna go crazy, so we can't say that anymore.
Sorry.
Yeah,
no
you're
more.
good. That's all right. We'll just call it GP from now on.
Yeah. Gary paid.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I totally agree. And not everything like I said, not everything has to explode with a big fiery explosion. And it's like so removed from anything.
It's just after that whole thing, you were like, not everything's gonna explode.
Yeah. It's true. It's true.
Yeah. A GP though, that's what you want.
Well, no, you don't want that either. That's what I'm saying. Like, not everything has to be, insane. That's all. It doesn't have to.
You gotta stroke it all.
Yeah. Well, I think that what's it called? Caught Stealing will really break through the barrier of action and comedy, and it should be interesting. Speaking of breaking through, we just talked about him, and he's apparently being signed up by everybody. Does this guy say no to a script? We should have Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson in one of our films. He'll just say yes to it. No problem.
Yeah. Hey, A24 too, though.
I hear you. A24 has signed Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson in this new psycho thriller called Breakthrough, where he plays a cult leader. RJ definitely has more details on that. Go ahead.
I mean, I got the synopsis here. Film follows a young man who comes under the influence of a motivational guru who uses morally questionable methods of manipulation. So, I mean, again, like a very different role for The Rock. I think we talked about this last time. I think he definitely sees guys like Dave Bautista and John Cena becoming real actors. And I think he wants to do that. He's got the Smashing Machine coming out. He's going to be in Scorsese's next movie, supposedly. So he's trying. He's going for it. I mean, you can't say anything with The Rock. He's competitive and he wants to win, regardless of how you feel about him. So it's exciting to see him try this out.
Yeah, I'm a fan. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a fan of the work ethic, and I'll tell you this much: I'm a fan of the work ethic on the front end. And if he looks if he looks strained, or if these movies come out and he looks like he's just kind of going through the motions to be in all these movies, I'm not gonna like it.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna like it. This is one of those industries, RJ, where the story and the work that you put into it, you really can have something life-changing and have something that has a and I don't mean The Rock's life. I mean, if you make a good movie, that 12-year-old kid sitting in the theater could have his life, his whole mentality of the world changed. And if you just keep cranking out Star Wars IPs and Avengers 17 and all this other bullshit, you really could.
No passion.
There's nothing there. There's nothing of any substance. I like the fact that he wants to win. I like the fact that he's taken his career seriously. And I like that he's trying something that's kind of out of his element. With that being said, there's a lot of weeks here in a row that we've been talking about a new Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson movie. Okay? I'd like to see a couple of them. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'd like to see
Well,
something.
that Smashing Machine's coming out this year.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
yeah.
The makeup looked good in that. So we'll see.
Yeah, it did. It did.
Good. Makeup might not be needed.
By the way,
wow.
Slightly off topic though.
No,
I started watching. Do you have Apple TV?
I have Apple TV. I don't have Apple TV Plus. Is that what you have?
Try. I don't know. Well,
oh no, I was joking. I'm being no. I'm being a prick. I have the Apple TV box, is what I'm saying.
Oh, but you don't have the
streaming service. Right.
Oh,
I was being a prick.
You should try it out because The Studio. Have you heard of that with Seth Rogen?
Yeah, I hear that's pretty good. Do they film that like?
No, check it out.
Do they film that like in one take every time?
No, but there are a lot of long shots. But I think you'll love it, dude. Even if you just get a free trial, it's only one season. You could probably watch it in a few days. It's just like every episode. It's kind of like Entourage. I would compare it to, like, where the actors and stuff who make cameos are themselves. But Seth Rogen plays this movie studio executive. But it talks about all the stuff we talk about, and how he's this movie executive who gets promoted, and he's like a movie lover. And all he wants to do is like make great movies, but everyone around him just wants him to make the bullshit IP slop. So it's like him trying to, and it's a comedy. It's funny, but I do think you should check it out. I think you'd like it.
All right.
And each episode is kind of its own isolated story.
Okay.
It's cool.
So
yeah,
I differ with Seth Rogen on a lot of the ways that he views the world. And so I don't know. Sometimes it's a stretch for me, Seth Rogen, with his.
It is. Well, I mean,
not always.
It's weird
not
too,
always.
Because it's like Hollywood's clearly self-aware of the ridiculousness that they're doing nowadays, and because you see it in the show and it's funny and they make fun of what's going on, but then I'm also like, how can you be self-aware but not change?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And maybe they are going to change, but sure. I don't know. Yeah. It's interesting.
Yeah. No, I think you're right. I think it's a very interesting concept. Yeah, I've seen a lot of on Instagram. I mean, I'm inundated with the behind the scenes of the way they shoot things and all.
They do have a cool one shot thing that I know what you're talking about though.
Yeah. So I didn't know if it was shot like the Adolescence on Netflix, where each episode's one take.
Yeah, I watched that. That was good.
Did you like that? Huh?
Did you watch it?
No, I haven't gotten into it yet.
I mean, it's heavy. It's only 3 episodes, but it's incredible that they were all one shot. But
yeah. What the planning? Oh my God, I'm good.
Yeah, yeah,
that's interesting. Well, in the future, we may not need to plan much at all anymore. Based on this next topic here. Last week, Google released Google Veo3, which is the new AI application that costs $250 a month and gives you the ability to create 8-second video clips that look real, with people in them, with dialogue and talking, and everything looks like a movie, and Hollywood is doomed? ? That's what we're talking about, RJ. How do you feel about this?
Well, you definitely know more about it than me. All I kind of saw was on X. I saw all the videos, like their demonstration of it, because now I guess previously you couldn't have them speaking, so now they have the ability to have dialogue and stuff. I didn't know that it was a subscription thing. I didn't know that it was only 8-second clips at the moment. But I think bottom line is AI wasn't even in a thought for a lot of us like 5 years ago, and I think the speed it's making just seemingly by the month is pretty crazy. It's pretty scary. I think it's definitely becoming a sci-fi movie before our eyes. But yeah, I mean, it's not great. I think a lot of people, us especially, are adamant that human art you can't replicate that.
Mm.
And I agree with that. However, if you're a big studio and you need to cut costs and you just need to push out content on these streaming services, and people like us or people not like us don't really care as much how it's getting made. They just want to consume. It's hard to stop that.
Okay.
You know?
So I have 2 responses for you. I got the
All right.
I got the short Nick Williams on the internet version, which is it's bullshit. And then I have a longer answer. Okay. Do I like it? No, I don't like it. I'm not concerned. I'm not as concerned as people, I think, who saw that those clips, and it broke the internet. It really did. It was the Kim Kardashian with the champagne bottle on her ass. It was OJ on the highway. This is a big moment in human history. I would say this is a very big moment. And one of the things that I've watched a lot of podcasts about it. There's a lot of stuff out there. I'm big into mental health, and I have staked my entire life and reputation. I'm in my 30s. You know, I can't say I make movies and then I fail in 5 years and I go work at Dunkin' Donuts. It just doesn't work for me. Okay. Cause I'm not 18. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So initially the reaction was a lot of fear. What happens from here? And then I kind of thought about it a little bit more. And I've watched, like I said, I've watched a lot of podcasts on AI and the future of this shit, just to broaden my horizons.
Sure.
I really do feel like life is about the journey, not the destination. And what I mean by that is AI only deals with the destination. There is no reason, there's no reason for AI other than problem solving. So if you have a situation where you don't know something, you put it in ChatGPT, ChatGPT gives you the answer immediately. Now that's fine, except that next time there's an iteration of the same problem, if ChatGPT is unavailable, or if you are in a situation where you need to kind of figure out how to fix a problem, you don't know. Because the only thing you knew was how to type a prompt into an AI. Okay, number one. On the other side of stuff, look at the general reaction and the consensus about Hollywood right now regarding the large IPs. We're pissed on a level that's the Avengers 25. Why do we need another Avengers 25? Imagine, and think about it this way. What about celebrity? Celebrity is so extremely entrenched in American culture. What person is going to sign their rights to their image away and their voice to be used as a model in an AI film where they don't even have to show up? Maybe it'll happen, but what's to keep a studio from making tons of other films once they sign that contract? So you're going to have a lot of legal ramifications. The only other thing about this AI, the Google Veo3 thing, is all of the people, the images of people that it creates are not real people, right? They're all AI. And in order for them to make a movie about RJ Curerri in an AI film, they would need you to sign away your image and your voice. I don't see a lot of people doing that. I feel like the reality of the world is that we all want the answers, but we crave the drama. We crave the imperfection. We all strive to be perfect, but once we get to perfect, like it's like all these people that are billionaires that are unhappy. You know what I'm saying? It's like money doesn't buy you happiness, and everybody wants to be rich so that they can be happier. But once you get rich, you're not that happy. You need to be more fulfilled. There needs to be more there. It's all the same type of concept. So I think that on the front end, I think using AI as a tool, especially for editors out there, I think it'll save a lot of time. I'm also a big proponent of the cream always rises to the top, in the sense that if you're really talented, you'll be able to make more stuff. Do I think that, like, small time videographers might lose some business in the short term because businesses might figure out how to whatever? Maybe. But I also think that, people thought that when online shopping started, like Amazon, you could buy anything on Amazon, clothing, whatever else. They said, well, if you own a brick and mortar store, you might as well close up now because there's no reason for it anymore. People go shopping all the fucking time. I went to the outlets recently. I got a new pair of shoes. I got some other stuff, and like
And
there's stores fucking everywhere. You know what I'm saying? What are you talking about?
not to ruin your brand here, but
Go ahead.
no, I'm not ruining it. Supporting it, like Barnes and Nobles, for example.
Sure.
They had to close a bunch of brick and mortar stores like years ago, and now they're opening a bunch. So yeah.
Well,
yeah.
and so this is the
I
thing.
definitely agree with you.
So it's just an interesting dichotomy to me, and I don't mean to get so meta and philosophical with this shit, but seriously, you got to think about it, because there's right now it's so easy, RJ, to say, well, I just, like, especially for somebody like you have a degree from a school, you wanted to get into this industry, you wanted to do this stuff, and now you can type a fucking prompt and it'll do it for you. What the fuck is your degree worth now? To me, it's the struggle of doing films like Cadillac or Cold, or the scripts that you wrote, and the trials and the tribulations, the casting, and it's all the other stuff and the work that goes into it. And I say this all the time. This is my part of the reason I'm not a big fan of CG, and I love movies like The Man Who Wasn't There, which is a modern take on a noir film, right? It's the gate weave, it's the jiggle, it's the behind the scenes footage where there's 50 fucking people there and there's only 2 people talking in the scene. This is the only type of art form that requires so many different talents to come together. I'm not a sound guy. I say it all the time. I'm not a guy who can sit behind the camera. I'm not a writer. I have my role. I love my role. I thrive in my role. And everybody who has their position feels that way. When times are good, when they can do their stuff, when they're in the groove, in the zone. I don't think that, like, I don't see it happening. I don't see it being a thing. Yes, there are creeps out there who will date AI people. Okay. And there may be some jobs that are lost, and there may be some things that happen culturally that support AI. But they said that no one would ever make movies again when the TV came out. Actually, to be honest with you, the film industry said nobody would ever watch TV. They were wrong about that one. For people to say that just because they can generate a random video of a person, is it moving fast? Yes. Do I like it? No, I think they should probably cut and run. I feel like they should implement it in medical. I just feel like it's very weird, because I feel like they create these AI things and then they use the technology in a way that doesn't really help anything.
Yeah.
What about curing fucking cancer?
They don't know where to stop.
No, but they don't go in the right direction. They're going culture war wise. They're going like, let's make movies and fun images. Why not use it to cure cancer? Why not use it to figure out how to get to Mars quicker? Why not use it to stop AIDS? Why don't we use it for, something other than taking jobs away from people? And by the way, all of these companies and everything that, they all talk about the fact that they're utilizing AI and all this other shit. And then you call people for a quote and you get the same thing back that says, oh yeah, it's going to be X amount. It's the same amount it was when you had 200 employees. Why does everything still cost a lot of money? If anything, they should be implementing AI, and houses and everything should go back to being 50 grand like they were, 40 years ago, I obviously, I feel like people in the trades, I don't know, man. I just feel I have a fundamental, you know what it is? It's because I don't like it. So I think that other people won't like it. And I have a tendency, maybe I'm just a regular pleb who just falls in line with the rest of the sheep, and maybe that's the case. But I generally speaking, I can see why people like things that they like. If that makes, I can see why things get famous. You know what I mean? You'd be like, oh yeah, like maybe it's not my style, but I can see why people like that thing, whatever it is. And I don't want to go watch a fucking AI movie. I don't even like movies with a lot of CG, So like, what's the benefit? I don't get to be that person. Nothing I'm watching is real at all. It's why I don't like Avatar. It's a cartoon to me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I just it's I guess generationally the babies that are being born right now, maybe they'll would you want that? Like would you
Yeah, if that's all they know, though.
right, but then okay,
Right.
but imagine a baby is born in a time when AI movies are the only thing out there. And that's all they know. Like they don't even think that the film industry is an industry because they think it's just a guy who sits there and he creates cool stuff and you watch it for 2 hours, right? And then he watches a movie like Goodfellas or Heat
Mhm.
or I don't fucking know. Anything. Bruce Almighty. I don't fucking know. Any movie that's ever come out before those AI movies. And someone tells him, that's not AI. There's 50 fucking people there who made that. And the epiphany, the ability to make that thing. I mean, it gets me fucking I know I'm so dramatic. I know. And I'm high strung today. I had a very busy day today, but it makes me so emotional because it's the same thing. It's the same feeling I had watching movies growing up. And I also watched cartoons growing up and I didn't have those feelings, you know?
Mhm.
You watch a movie on a screen with real people and you go, holy shit, like I could do something like that. I could make something like that. You telling me all I need is a camera and a guy with a fucking microphone on the end of a stick? Let's make some shit.
Mhm.
I don't, this doesn't make me not want to make movies. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like this doesn't take me
No,
out of
I'm
that.
with you. But I think, like, I agree with you, but I do think that, like, the casual moviegoer probably doesn't care.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I think that when none of it's real, that's where you lose me. That's where you lose me.
Yeah.
For things like commercials or when you're sitting there toilet scrolling and you see an AI
Mhm.
tell you to buy this pair of socks because it keeps your feet 2 degrees
Yeah.
warmer in the winter. That's to me, that's the extent of it. And I'm not saying that they're not going to make movies in Hollywood that are all fully AI. I'm not saying that. I just don't want anything to do with it as a consumer, not from the perspective of a producer. As a consumer, I don't
Mhm.
want to watch them. There's
Yeah.
nothing about it that tickles my. Nothing about it turns me on. Nothing about it gets me going. Nothing about it wants me to get off the couch. I wouldn't watch it at home on HBO Max, an AI show. What a fucking
Mhm.
and if I was watching something and I thought I liked it and I thought, geez, this is so great. Look at all the work that went into something like this, because that is how I consume shit. Like I give a lot of shit a big pass because I think, wow, look at all the fucking work that went into this. And if I found out that something was completely computer generated AI, I would go, fuck, that really sucks. And I'd stop watching it.
Mhm.
That's just me.
Yeah, I guess we just gotta hope that everyone else rejects it, you know?
Well, if they don't, they will. They will. I guarantee it. Because people like, generally speaking, humanity values humanity. That's the truth. That's why it's, we have things like PETA, don't get me wrong, but it's a big Save the Animals
Mhm.
initiative. But generally speaking, a lot of charities most charities are about helping other people. There's plenty of money that gets donated to shit, and you don't see a lot of people going, this year for Christmas, I'd like to donate my Christmas bonus to AI research. Nobody gives a fuck. You know what I mean? It's cool. It's a novelty. It's a new trend. In the short term, there may be some pullback. My response to that is that filmmakers, now is the time to create as much shit as you can, because there will be a time in the not too distant future where it will be required or you will not survive, because the small time bullshit, the Instagrams, the TikToks of the world, that's done. That's done.
Mhm.
It's all going to be AI. There's no question about it. It'll be the quickest deletion of an app I've ever had. I guarantee you.
Mhm.
Movies, though, shows, TV, there's too many people involved to get rid of it. And there's too many people that think they can do it good. You got to understand something, RJ. We are pretentious as fuck. We're not curing cancer. We've chosen a career where we think we know how to make people feel a certain way, and we think that we're the greatest, whatever.
Yeah, that's an episode of The Studio. They discuss that.
But it's it's great. I will watch it then if that's true,
Yeah.
because I really do feel like that. But I'm also very self-aware, and I know I'm a pretentious fuck, and I know that I can make something better than AI. You know what I mean? And and even if it's the worst thing I've ever made with a fucking handy cam in the backyard, I made it, not a computer. That's the difference. At least I put the work in. I didn't type a sentence into a prompt line and then have a fucking movie show up. You know?
Right. I don't disagree.
You got to think about it. You got to take a 30,000 foot view. You got to think to yourself, right now, what are people pissed about in Hollywood? They're lazy. They're lazy because they're making the same IPs. They're squeezing the fucking shit out of all of these IPs until there's nothing left. It's still going to happen. It's still going to happen. Look how pissed people were that they had CG dwarves in Snow White instead of making little people able to have 7 jobs. What are you going to do when the whole movie's CG? What are you going to do with the and AI CG on top of that? I don't see it. I feel like you see a lot of people. You see a lot of people get really pissed about this shit, and they're going to start really valuing to all of the because we have a lot of them because of the Nick Williams show now. So all of the freelancers out there and those videographers, double your fucking prices immediately because your shit's real. It's not made out of a computer, and you put the actual work in. You got to put the work in. Don't get me wrong, but being real and being there and being present and having real relationships is going to absolutely double in value in the next 10 years. You mark my words. Mark my fucking words.
Well, I think we're going to find out sooner than later.
Yep.
The way it's going.
Yeah, but I'm not scared. I'm embracing it, and I think we should use it as a tool. And I think if you rely on
you got to adapt.
Yeah. But this whole, I mean, people really, dude, I saw some videos. People were really freaking out. Really, really freaking out of it. They were like, this is one, it's scary. And they said, two, taking my job and all this other shit. And why am I making? If you think to yourself that because of Google Veo3 that you don't want to make movies anymore, in my opinion, you never did. And get the fuck out of my way because I'm going to make some bangers, dude. That's how I feel about it, the truth. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's it. That's how I feel about that. I think it's
well
great.
said. Well said.
I'm pumped for the future, man. I think the future is brighter than ever, and I think it's a beautiful thing.
Yep.
I do.
I'm with you.
Yeah, it's good
No
shit.
movie mob AI.
No, fuck that. Yeah, that's the other thing. Oh, that's the other advice I would give to everybody in the entire world. Start a YouTube channel. Start a real YouTube channel. Even if you have the shittiest camera in the world, document the fact that you are a real human being. I think that I'm telling you, I think that there's going to be a lot of value placed in the fact that, a lot more value placed in the fact that we can actually communicate and talk with each other and be present with each other as real people, because it will become such a thing of the past. Like it'll become such like an unusual thing. Think about this, dude. Before COVID, how old were you in 2019 ish? I don't remember.
19.
Oh, okay. So did you ever? Well, no, you didn't, right? Because you weren't 21. Well, you were in college though. Did you ever like go out and meet anybody new at like a bar or restaurant or anything like that in the old days?
No.
Really? That's crazy.
No. Well, because I couldn't drink at that point.
That's
but also I just like all my friends I met at school growing up.
Okay, but like if you went to a college party, you obviously met like new people.
Oh, sure. Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Now they just don't. Like I feel like now post COVID, people go and sit at a bar and they're only there for each other, and then they get up and they leave. But they don't interact at the bar. You know what I mean? I'm telling, like, we need more of that shit. And I'm telling you, it's because
I think it's it's definitely a good sign that so many people listen to podcasts.
Yeah,
right. Because people are interested in what people have to say in conversations,
Yeah.
And I think like what Rogan kind of established there, just having two people talk about something that one person doesn't really know about, you know what I'm saying? I think and sit there for 3 hours. I think it's interesting.
No, I love it. I really do love it. And but I feel like that's my point, dude. That's my point.
Yeah.
You have the media, like, and I mean like mainstream media that was like talking head stuff in a square for 5 minute segments, and then we move on to the next thing. Okay, dope. And that was the standard. And people didn't know that they liked the unedited 3 hour conversations, RJ, because they never existed. They only existed at home.
Yeah. And like, why would I want to listen to a 3.5 hour podcast where an AI Joe Rogan is talking to some fake person?
Oh, I was going even deeper than that. If I had told you, I mean, you were like a baby, but let's say we were the same age as we are right now, and let's say it was back in, I don't know, 2003, and I said, hey, some bald guy who judges UFC is going to have a 3 hour conversation with, I don't know, some guy who believes in aliens. You'd be like, so fucking what? Who gives a shit?
Yeah, right.
But now we crave it. Oh, did you see that? Like, think about how important podcasting has become to the culture. And you get all these, I mean, of course, you get all these fucking dumbasses online who will make comments on a newer podcast like ours. They'll be like, oh, not everybody needs a podcast. Fuck you, man. I'm not doing this for the viewers. I'm doing this so that I have an excuse every week. Think about it, RJ. You moved very far away without giving too much away. Like, you moved very far away, and I need this. I need to keep this relationship. I love you, man. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Like, I love talking to you about this shit. I love your opinion. I don't give a fuck what somebody else thinks of our opinions. I care about having a friendship and building a career and a life with people that I love and I want to spend the rest of my life with. And around.
To your point, it's the experience, not the destination.
Exactly.
Right?
Dude, I said it before. I had Sam Luca, and I posted a reel about this on Instagram. I had Sam Luca, my buddy, on my podcast, the other show that I do, and we were every Monday at 5. But
there you go.
I said to him, I said, this is like an 80-year movie that I'm watching. I'm not even, people say it's like main character syndrome. I don't have main character syndrome. I'm watching, bro. I'm viewing the movie. I'm watching the characters in the movie.
I mean, you are, at the end of the day, you are the main character of your own story.
I mean, right? I guess, but I'm saying, like, a lot of people that have main character syndrome act like the whole world needs to revolve around them.
Sure. Oh, yeah.
And I'm saying, I'm sitting in the seat.
Look at it as like one movie about them versus individual movies about each person.
Sure. But I'm saying, the way that I look through my eyes is as if I'm watching a movie. I'm the person who bought the ticket, and I'm sitting here watching this movie. And when the credits roll, kid, the only thing I want to say is, fuck, that was a good fucking movie.
Oh, you can ask.
But that's why I'm not afraid of talking to people or asking for favors or going above and beyond and going fucking crazy, because I want to have fun. And I want to have a good life and be a good person. And I want to be surrounded by the best people that I can possibly find. And as of today, that's people like you. Tomorrow, I could meet somebody better. Who knows? No, you're great, man. And I mean that. These relationships are real. You're not a fucking AI bot. You know what I mean? I'd rather be on set with you than be sitting behind a computer typing into a prompt. That's fucking dumb to me. That's how I feel.
Yeah. No, I'm with you.
I don't know. I love it. Movie Mob premieres every Friday, 6 p.m. Make sure you hide your kids, hide your wife. We got some big stuff, big surprises coming up, big things in the future. Nick Williams shows every Monday at 5. RJ, you got anything else?
No, that's it, man. Pleasure.
Always. Take it away.
How you doing?